Hello, friends. Welcome to this benchmarking test. We are at London Heathrow, EGLL, and we are just going to be doing some circuit patterns around the airport. We have FSLTL live traffic loaded. Uh, it's early morning in London Heathrow with a few clouds, but we will try to put little clouds. We will try maybe to put in some clouds later. Right now, this is the FPS we are getting with full 4K, everything on ultra, maxed out, and I will display the system settings sometime soon. Before we start, we're gonna go to general options and we're gonna see that we have full screen 4K. We are in true TAAA. Render scaling is 4K. NVIDIA DLSS frame generation is off for now. I want to show you some differences between that off and on. And of course, VSync is off. Everything else is default, and we are on the Ultra preset with everything set to Ultra. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and start. So I'm going to start with the in-game frame rate, so you can see that it is matching what I'll be using for the benchmark. We're currently doing 49 FPS, and then NVIDIA overlay is giving me 50 FPS. You know, it's changing, so actually I can display it here. This is the FPS counter. You can kind of see 48. It's just a timing issue. It's just when we are running DLSS or frame generation on, the GPU is adding a frame, so this FPS counter will not be accurate and we're gonna have to get rid of it. So we're going to be using this. I'm gonna toggle the benchmarking for each scenario, and we're going to be looking at the average FPS. We're going to be looking at the 1% lows and 0.1% lows. You can see all my system specs right here, along with my GPU driver, which I believe is the latest. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this going and cranking. So let's go ahead and get the ignition key on. I just lost my track IR. Come on, Microsoft, what are you doing to me? Just lost my track IR. Well, this is not gonna be good. Yep, Microsoft just decided not to look at or recognize my track IR. So I'm gonna have to do this without track IR, which is not cool in my books. All right, we'll do engine master to on. Let's go ahead and acknowledge that, and we will go ahead and get the strobe light on and the position light on. Fuel is good, we just need to balance it and bring it to the left tank. All of these are good. The flaps are up. All right, clear prop. And within a few seconds, we've had 710 RPM and the oil pressure is in the green. So we are good. So I'm going to do some fuel transfer. So you can see that we're transferring some fuel. So it should even up a little bit. All right, flight controls check. Roller free. Rotor is good. Fuel valve is normal. And for our trim, we're going to go to neutral trim. We will check the flaps. Maybe I will unplug this to see if it's making any difference. I doubt it. Yeah, unplugging track IR will not make any difference. So let's check our flaps. Full flaps were good. All right, so we are good. So FPS wise, we're good. The The frame time, yeah, frame time 20 and 19.5, 21, 29. So the frame time is somewhat okay. And right now we are limited. We are limited according to this by our main thread, which is the CPU, which I don't quite understand. My CPU usage is very low. I'm pretty sure we're limited by the GPU, not the CPU. CPU memory wise, something doesn't make sense. I'm not using 16 gig of RAM. I'll have to check that. Saying I'm using 16 gig of my 32. Let's check that real quick. That's a little intriguing to me. So task manager, if I go to the RAM, yeah, I'm using 16.3 gigs according to task manager. So I have no idea where Microsoft is taking its statistics saying that the CPU memory is 5.5. That is not correct, Microsoft. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and turn on the avionics master, and we'll do just the local QNH, which is 1002. So we are about 80 feet, so we're gonna try to maintain 1,000 feet. We'll just do some circuits. That's all we're gonna do, circuits. That way we can try to keep everything comparable. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start the recording of these things right here. What do you call them? The recording of the statistics average. I'm gonna start them when I am on the runway in the air. I'm gonna try to get flight recorder going and see if I can make something happen with flight recorder. Okay, flight recorder is going, so that's good. Maybe I can save the situation for later as well. All right. The rudder doesn't feel okay to me. Okay. However, which way do I go? I'm so used to doing track IR that I'm trying to turn my head. So as you can see, FPS is about the same on both sides. Rudder, come on. Yeah, there's something wrong with my rudder. I messed with the driver, and I shouldn't have. It's going full left. Direction. Yeah, the rudder is it the wind? Excuse the taxiing, there's something wrong with the rudder. I had messed with my driver. Alright, let's make sure we're at 1 notch of flaps. The fuel, yep, we did transfer the fuel. So now we'll do a fuel pump off. runway 27. Wow. Okay, there's something really weird on the rudder. Let me see if I can quickly do USB game controllers, SATEC rudder properties. Can't do nothing to it actually. Yeah, nothing. It says it's good. Maybe I can shut off the Logitech. Yeah, that Logitech software is coming off. Yep, it doesn't even wanna get out of my computer. Oh well, I'll do the best I can. Yeah, you see how it's going? I mean, it should yaw a little bit to the left with the torque. Alright, landing light, taxi light. What I forgot to do is, I mean, it doesn't matter because this is just a test anyway. Mainly on the performance side for the computer. Alright, so let's go. There's a little issue with the alternator. Hopefully it's not gonna cause a failure. And once I take off, I'm gonna hit my shortcuts for benchmark, and it's gonna start recording new values for these. Okay, if I take off. Because it's really hard to run this rudder. And this is again, reminder, 4K. No DLSS, no frame generation. Okay, we're gonna try to go. Ignore the not being center line and everything. But essentially, there you go, we are rotate. Alright. And then I'm gonna push the button. There you go. Now you see how the FPS did change. Average, minimum, not minimum, low, and max. So we're just gonna do some circuit patterns, left hand pattern. Okay, flaps up. Basically touch and go, and every time we take off, we'll come back and we'll check. Alright, so you can see that these two FPS counters are the same, okay? But then on the next test, we're not going to have the same FPS counters because Microsoft FPS counter does not work when frame generation is set to on, because the FPS counter doesn't see it. But nonetheless, I will let you see that that's the case first, and then I will take it off. Unfortunately, I don't have my track IR to pan and view, so this is what it is. I'm just going to try to use my keyboard buttons, knowing that without that, oh, we're at 1000. All right. gonna turn crosswind, left crosswind. Beautiful. So I know this is not legal because I am going into the other path of the other runway, but it's just a test. Alright, we're gonna turn now downwind. Beautiful. The sun. And it'd be interesting, I'm also recording in 1080p, but I'm set in 4K but recording in 1080p. It would be interesting to see what the image quality is as well in OBS for the stream. So 50 FPS right now is our average on this first leg, okay? And our lowest frame, the 0.1% low, is 34 FPS. And the 1% low is 40 FPS. Ideally, you don't want to have a large difference between those. That just means we have a smooth gameplay. So I'm going to try to take some same reference. You know, once I clear these buildings, I'm going to start my base turn. So at least we can keep things somewhat the same. Yep, once I clear these buildings right here. So right about 57 FPS, so we did clear these buildings. So let's take flap 1. I was in the white arc. Oh, this is where track IR would have been really good. Alright, runway is right there. Alright, we're good. Alright, we can turn on to final. If I smash it, don't judge. Okay. This is just a test for performance, FPS. The thing I forgot to do was a fuel pump, but oh well. Once I touch down, we're gonna pause. We're gonna change and do still TAAA and frame generation on, okay? That's how we're gonna do it. And at that point, the Microsoft frame rate counter will be no good. No good. A little windy. We got 21 knots. Yep, 21 knots. Probably getting close to the limit of this aircraft. Whoa. Seven knots headwind. As long as it's gusting, we should be okay. Here, ground speed is 49. 49 ground speed. Alright, 27 right is made. 45 FPS. Basically, we average 51 FPS for this leg. FPS. Don't balloon. Alright, so what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna do flaps 1 and I'm gonna escape. And what we're gonna do, we're going to general options and we're gonna leave it to TAAA. And we are going to, but let me first stop the benchmark. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, I stopped the benchmark. So 51 FPS. We can always come back to the video at 21 minutes. We're gonna turn on frame generation, okay? Apply. And we are at 110 FPS and this is showing 53. So we're gonna get rid of this FPS counter. Okay, so let's go ahead and measure or verify the trim. Yep, trim is good. Take off, and we're gonna get rid of that frame rate counter. Let's take off first, but I want you to see the difference. And let me start. There you go. We're in the air. Benchmark. So now 85 FPS average-ish. Yeah, and that's showing about half. So let's go ahead and remove developer mode. There you go. So right now that's TAAA with frame generation on. And as you can see, the frame time is about half of what we were getting before. So this is where the GPU is inserting an extra frame, and the CPU cannot see that extra frame. Yeah, something with Microsoft. When I do a circuit and I take off again, I always hear that don't sync, don't sync, don't sync. So now we are at 102 FPS. Average FPS is 95. 1% low, 61 FPS. And 0.1% low, 47 FPS. Alright, let's go ahead and get it to left crosswind. There's a difference between frame generation helps a lot. I don't think you need an RTX Series 4 to get frame generation turned on. You guys don't quote me, but you can try. It would have been cool to have track IR. It would have been cool. British Airways below us. So we're gonna take the same reference points before turning on base. about at the edge of the runway. Normally we slow down to 80 here, get some flaps. Go, and we're still on the runway there. Let's get our first notch of flaps. We'll extend a little bit. Once we clear this batch of buildings, go and turn base. So the frame time is lower, it's not in the 20s. The frame time has been halved. This frame generation on. Oh, there is a crane that we can use as a reference point to turn. I didn't see it the first time. Construction crane, and we're about the same altitude as the first one ish, plus or minus 100, so that's a good indication and a good test, except I'm banking hard. There you go, there's the runway. I think I came further over here. Windy. And the wind is trying to push us exactly. So you see how we are, we've overshot because the wind is trying to push us. Should have started banking earlier. The volts are low. We may have an engine failure. Or electrical failure, I shall say. That's what happened the other day. The alternator is not working. Okay, we'll do full flaps. And I should not be fiddling with this. But it's telling us that amps and volts, yeah, volts are low. When our volts get in the red, we're gonna have electrical failure. Alright, we're high. So about 97 FPS versus 50 FPS on the previous one average. And the FPS in yellow is the real-time FPS. It's not averaged. The ones in white are the ones to use for the benchmark. Again, this is London Heathrow. I guess I have a flight information bar that gives all of that. Yep. And it's windy. Yeah, I'm going to be watching the volts, but it looks like we're going to have to fly DLSS without any screens or electrical power. For this benchmark, again, the average was 97, and then on the last benchmark we will turn on DLSS, and we'll see if DLSS helps me in my setup or not. TAA is the one that gives you the true fidelity. Wings level. Come on. Float it. Wings level. Wings level. Wings level. Wings level. Wings level. Ooh, I botched that one. Alright, we'll do one leg of flap. I'm just gonna stop. I'll reset the trim. Trim is good. And I'm gonna stop the benchmark here. Okay, so now let's go into the controls and general options. TAA now is gonna come to NVIDIA DLSS Super Resolution, and we're gonna be on quality. We're gonna leave frame generation on, apply and save. We will go back and resume. So now we are at 102 FPS. Let's get in the, it's about the same FPS wise in my opinion, but we will go ahead, and the frame time is also about the same. So in my case, DLSS doesn't truly change my FPS, but the frame time does in my case. Alright, let's benchmark.
Don't sink, don't sink.
And the benchmark even started at 80 FPS.
Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink.
So we'll see if it
Don't
settles. But the other one was 97 FPS earlier.
Don't sink.
So the jury is still out if DLSS helps me or not. Okay, 300 feet, flaps up. Once we make the end of the runway, we can turn crosswind. And I believe about 800 feet, this don't sink will stop. There you go. About 800 feet, it stopped every time, no fail. So mind you, I am on 4K. I am, aside from 4K, what else am I doing? I am streaming on YouTube. What else? What else? But I am not streaming at 4K because it's kind of a waste anyway. Because you can't really watch it on YouTube with your mobile device. So we are crosswind, my friends. And I think once I clear runway 27, it's time to go. Okay, our volts will shut us down, maybe. Maybe we can have okay, now the FPS went all the way to 113 and we're averaging. So DLSS gave me just a few more frames, but not a lot. Not a lot. Yeah, as you can see here, our volts are in the red. If we don't get in the ground soon, we are gonna be in trouble. Let's try to maintain the heading towards this dome building. And after this, we'll change the weather to real cloudy. And we'll just stay on DLSS. Alright, we just passed the edge of the runway, so let's slow it down to 80 or 90-ish, at least in the white arc. Get the first notch of flaps. There you go. Wants to bloom some. Where's my crane? There's the crane. So let's turn at the crane. Look after the crane. Alright, we are on left base. And we should mind the wind, so we're going to turn at a much steeper rate. Because the wind will push us out. Hey, look at this! We made it without overshooting. It's all about planning. Alright, so this one averaged about 107. Frame time is the same as NVIDIA frame generation. Let's get the last notch of flaps. Alright, 500 for red, so we gotta be maintaining. We got some electrical power, but not a lot. Come on. You can do it. Ooh, this is choppy. Makes it hard to control the descent rate and the direction. So as we approach the terminal, we are now around 96, 95 FPS. But if I remember correctly, the first one averaged 57, the first test. The second test 97, and this test looks to be at 105. So DLSS does give me about give or take 10 frames, give or take. All right, so that was that 104 FPS. Let's go ahead and stop the benchmark. And for the benchmark, I am using my Stream Deck, and I just have these short keys already mapped out with the FPS counter. I can turn it on, I can turn it off, I can even operate the flight recorder, you know, at the touch of a button. I'm recording right now, so if I just click stop, now my flight recorder just stopped. That is just beautiful. What test can we do? What test can we do? I don't know, my yoke is not configured for my jets, but I'll do some jets sometime. But let's just get some real nasty weather, knowing that I can't do much with nasty weather anyway. Weather. How's this? Of course, I cannot VFR fly in this. Let's just make it interesting. This is just sightseeing and fun. It's for science, it's for testing. There you go. So we'll do B to get the altimeter. Woo! I cannot see in this. Alright, with that being said, we're gonna do benchmark. It's gonna start a new benchmark, and right off the bat we are at 101. So this is London, cloudy and such, or stormy, whichever. Alright, there's 60.
Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink.
Yeah, I have no visual.
Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink.
This is why folks fly during the clear.
Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink.
Alright, let's get the flaps up and
don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink.
we are not landing. We're just flying around, doing something very dangerous. But nonetheless, we are maintaining somewhat decent FPS, somewhat, for this type of weather condition. So this is where we are really IFR. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to do some checking here. I'm gonna do heading, I'm gonna do altitude, and I will do autopilot. How's that? That way I'm not gonna kill myself. And we're gonna do this time, this is ILS flying. I'm just gonna go get the ILS. So we'll quickly do a flight plan over here. We'll do a flight plan. And for the origin, we will do EGLL. Then we will do enter, enter, and for the destination, we will do L, enter, and we want 27 right, and we do enter. So now we are good, 27 right. All right. Holy moly. So I'm on autopilot. We're flying dangerously. And this is now where we need the pitot heat. Pitot. Alright. How do I now load this approach? So I haven't done transponder. So I'll come out here, I'll do procedure. We'll select an approach. And we'll do vectors. And will it give me my frequency? I think normally, yeah. Primary frequency 110.3. Okay, so once we load it, it should enter it in here. Minimums, let's just say the minimums are 60 feet. I'm just making it up. I'm not even sure if it's legal. Let's activate it. Not approved for GPS guidance, monitor only. Alright! Here I am. So now I am turning somewhat of a crosswind. No, downwind like. There you go. We're turning downwind. Here we are going to join. We're in the yellow, the dangerous. This should not be entering that speed zone in smooth air. And we are not in smooth air, so we need to. No, we're gonna be stalling this thing. I guess we got a tailwind. Yeah, we got a tailwind. I don't think I'm going to be able to make this. I'm going to run out of power before I even try to land. Altitude, we'll do back. Alright, CDI, we've got look. Nope, I want look 1. 110.3. I want look 1. How can I get look 1? I guess it put it on active for nav 2. It's okay. Put it on the active for nav 2. Yep, it's completely pitch dark. Let's get on the power. Speed is getting low. Alright, GPU usage about 87%. The CPU is barely touched. Then my CPU clock, I still gotta do some work on it. And something that I noticed, when I take my cursor off of my screen, it's like my TV goes into power saving mode and my FPS drop. So when I come back, the FPS come higher. When I click away, the FPS go lower. See? So I don't know if there's a setting to change that or not. Anyway, I will leave it like this as not to mess up the what you would call it, the test. How come we got clear? Is it because we're getting away from the airport? Okay, then let's go ahead and turn and intercept the localizer. Who can tell me for the NXI, do I need to be putting a course? Okay, the course is correct, 269. Yes, 269. So if I'm doing course 269, I'm going to intercept at about let's just say about 290. Okay, let me go this way a little bit first. I think I'm just going close because I ain't making the initial approach fix. For the final approach fix, I should be coming really. I'll correct it. Have I activated the vectors to final? Yes, I have activated vectors to final. I remember it did ask me about it. Downtown London, on the nose. Yeah, we're gonna run out of power, guys. These low volts here, we will run out of power. We don't have juice. No juice. Nice. Alright, we'll turn towards let's do about 290-ish. Is this London City? In front of me? It's gotta be London City, maybe. Nope. Now I don't know if we're seeing some artifacts or not. And I just left the look the other way. Crazy me. Alright, the log should be coming back to us. Once we see it move, we'll activate nav. There you go. Let's do nav. So we're in the localizer now. However, we don't have vertical guidance. Not sure if it's gonna do it though. We'll find out. Let me go ahead and start recording on flight recorder. Every time I take my mouse and put it on the other screen, so it gives me slightly lower FPS. Understood. We're about 1 mile out of the airfield. 1 mile. Flat plane here. Worst case scenario, we're gonna use a synthetic display. Put it on the ground. Worst case scenario. Just waiting on this glide slope. Not sure if the glide slope it will give me guidance or not, because I have no visual. The glide slope should have come like that. I'm thinking the glide slope should have come. Oh shoot. I should have pushed approach, not localizer. Silly me. Okay. Yep. So now glide slope is armed. I have flaps. Yes, I do have flaps. T's and P's are good. There's the wind. No visual, absolutely no visual. Like my first ILS on this NXI. Went up to 61 degrees Celsius. not gonna give me vertical guidance. Alright, I'm gonna at least try to get it to 500 feet. It'll be more manageable. Nope, wants to do altitude select and not touch any of it. Alright, autopilot off. Let's just try to follow the lateral guidance. This is illegal. No visual. This is illegal, my friends. There you go. Ever go flying in bad weather. Trying to use the synthetic vision to do it. I descended too soon. Need more lightning. Yeah, I descended way too soon. There's the runway right there. Yep, descended way too soon. Did I leave the runway behind me? Nah, I left the runway behind me. Oh, no, no, no. There is the glide slope. Uh-oh, lost power. That's what I thought. We lost power now. We got the runway made, but we lost power. Okay, I had the runway made, not anymore. I think it's about straight ahead. I did get the glide slope. There's the runway. And do not ignore your alternators, so electrical, so that is a mayday. Mayday, mayday, loss of electrical power coming in for straight in landing, runway 27, right, ILS. There's nothing I can do. I don't think this is working, this emergency power. This is essential bus. I don't have a battery to make it work. So it serves me no good. I do know that this aircraft has failures. Okay, I'm stalling. Yes, I am stalling. And in the process, no runway still. Yeah, my speed got really low. Right here. It got to about 60. We are at roughly 800 feet right now, no? Yeah, 800 feet. lost contact with the runway. This is not something good. And we are overflying the airport. I can tell. Yep, we are overflying the airport. This is the airport. Yeah. Yep, there's some airplanes. Yeah, there's no saving this. In this weather, there's no saving it. Yeah, there's a runway. That was a runway. Whatever that was, right there. 27 left. Let's try to see if we can make 27 left. Maintain visual contact. Alright, let's go in. Banking. This is where track IR would have really helped. Okay, we lost contact with the runway again. Oh boy, I'm fast, I'm going down, wings not level. Altitude high. This is the airport again. Just can't make the runway though. Ah! We got a sliver of runway, let's take it down. Let's take it down, guys. As says the Canadians, this was gnarly. Yeah, should be enough runway for us to stop. But don't float it. Down around 65 or so on the approach. Awesome. That was gnarly. Gnarly. Alright, let's stop the benchmark. Not bad. Average of 108 on this particular one with the clouds and the weather. Not too bad. DLSS. DLSS3 frame generation. All good, all good. Well, without electrical power, I don't think we have any lights. Alright, my friends, that was all. This video did reach about an hour. I just wanted to do a quick test. That wasn't the intention, but anyway, just some different tests with Microsoft Flight Sim in 4K Ultra, DLSS, TAA, frame generation on and off. Hope you liked it and enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know. The frame rate or the statistics stuff is a Riva tuner from MSI Afterburner. I went off of a gentleman's template and modified it for my need, mainly just for the values, but not for the layout. Alright, ciao. With that, we'll sign off. Bye bye.